Look what Russell did. He nailed the ground with the end of the swing arm. But at least the chains are on and it rolls beautifully. Welcome back to another episode of Mini Metal Fab, everyone.
I'm Russ.
I'm Brandon, and we are working on the big block again. It's been out of commission for a little while now.
If you're new to our channel, this thing has kind of been a long build in the making. Believe it or not, this started off as a Baja Warrior.
Yeah.
And now
it's a full custom frame.
Yeah.
And
it absolutely destroyed up in the coal mines. It goes
yes.
up any hill, can do a whole lot.
We took it there a couple episodes ago, and Russell was giving it a good send, and he hit a crater in the ground, and it kind of totaled the frame a little bit because he laid frame super hard.
This thing, it's amazing, but it has a bit of an Achilles heel. The shock, it has great travel, but it's super squishy. It has no give to it.
It's soft.
Like if it wasn't on the stand,
yeah,
it's like a trampoline.
It's got boat suspension, but it floats. So we are going to be trying to fix everything that got totaled in that accident we had.
Our single-sided swing arm is still fine. It's straight. It's great. So we can just disassemble that, remove the shock, but we have to straighten out both sides of the mounting tabs here and potentially reinforce them.
It twisted the actual bearing mounts in the chassis. It might be hard to tell on camera, but they are not straight at all anymore. And that is what twisted the entire jack shaft sideways, throwing the chain and causing a bunch of chunking issues. So now we need to disassemble everything so we can cut those out and weld new ones in that will be straight again and start it all over, unfortunately. It also absolutely cooked the foot pegs. Mm-hmm. These used to be straight.
Both sides got completely bent back.
That was straight, and now they're so far back. So we need to try to bend those back and then reinforce them so they don't bend again.
And one last thing. We need to remount our carburetor because I hit it with my legs.
Yeah,
especially
he kills
if you have riding boots. I am prone to kill an air filter.
Yeah, killed the air filter. We tried to use a rag. That didn't work too well, but it works for the trip. So we gotta re-angle the carburetor, angle it backwards a little bit, get it closer to the exhaust a bit,
and put a new tail light.
Sparks.
Put a new tail light in. That is still live.
Yeah, it is. So we have a lot of work to do on this thing. We're gonna get cracking. We're gonna start disassembling the rear end so we can start figuring out what is all bent and trying to straighten everything.
Took our chains off already.
Yep.
Now comes the wheel.
Yep. 4 lug nuts. That's it.
Does your mini bike have lug nuts?
For real.
Ours do.
It's sick. Boom. That easy. So now that we got the wake on, we can take our shock out, and then we can work on taking the brake off, and then these 6 bolts here to disassemble the whole swing arm and pull it all the way out.
But here's our single-sided swing arm setup.
Yeah,
if
it's pretty sweet.
New here, here's the rear end or big sprocket.
Yep, the axle.
We have 2 1-inch axles here. Our swing arm mounts to the front axle or jack shaft.
Yep.
And that's the pivot point as well for the suspension. So you don't
have any chain tension.
You don't gain or lose slack at all.
Well, yes, with the suspension travel, it's a beautiful setup.
We also kind of ran out of room on the back end, so our brakes here, but it works really well.
It gets torque multiplication through the chain because of gearing. So it stops on a dime. The only downside to it is if you happen to break a chain, you will lose rear brakes. Now this bike has dual hydraulic front brakes on it. So it's not the end of the world. If you lose rear brakes, you can still come to a stop and then, get a new chain on and you'll have brakes again. So this thing is set up pretty sweet. and it works really well for what it is. We just gotta fix the bent frame so we can send it some more.
It was a little tight with the shock, so we did mount it upside down. But
Yeah.
besides needing a rebuild, it kind of works beautifully.
Yeah, it does. Bruh.
Oh my.
We just realized this. Look what Russell did. He nailed the ground with the end of the swing arm.
The rear wheel was up in the frame, and then this was down towards the ground.
Bashed it in so bad.
Completely cooked on a rock.
Destroyed it. It's okay.
Tell you what, though,
The swing arm can take a beating, that's for sure.
I cannot. I felt every bit of it.
Yeah, you did go flying, that's for sure. This one is super bent. I don't know if you can see that. Look how bent that is. These, it should be a straight line right here.
But
This side's not as bad, but it's also bent.
I'd like to say how our single-sided swing arm took that hit and is still fine.
Yeah, the swing arm's fine, just the frame. And not even the frame, just like the swing arm mounts.
Technically, that just ruined the cap of it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
bent the mounts, like you said.
Yep. Pretty sick that we built the swing arm and can take a hit like that. That's pretty crazy.
It was a big divot, though.
Yeah.
Like, it hit the foot pegs and that at the exact same time.
Yeah, it was a hard hit. And like you see how bad it bent the foot pegs, so you'll see the clip. You'll know exactly what we're talking about.
We got the last two bolts.
Disassemble it. Then we should be able to try to get this thing out of here. Some of these bolts were not very tight.
No. So
Not
there's a
good.
chance. Did we even put Loctite on them?
Nah. All right. So now we can try to get this off. We got the swing arm off. It was pretty easy. Thankfully, the bearings weren't seized.
But another thing we noticed, this sprocket was walking a bunch. Like, we already found out that it was loose, but like, look at that wear ring.
It's because it was hitting the swing arm there when it would move over.
Yeah, it was sliding
Yeah.
a bunch.
Under the torque and the throttle. So we gotta shim that out and then get it locked down good again. So we can't move anymore. But now we can work on cutting these out because these need to go. They are tweaked. So we are back working on the big block mini bike tonight. It's a new day and we are going to pick up where we left off. We were working on cutting out the old mounts from the rear. So we almost have it dialed. We just got to cut out a little bit more for a little bit more clearance for the new mounts to go in for our swing arm. So we got the rear end all mocked up with the new swing arm mounts in. So we cut the old ones out, the old bent ones. We got our new ones in mocked up with our chain on. Everything's looking pretty straight. So we're going to give it a couple tacks so we can roll it over and see how it does. So Russell's going to hit it with the Lincoln locker here and zap her in. All right, it's tacked in.
Yep, I think it's pretty straight. Our tension's not too bad.
Nah. Give it a spin. You want to give it a spin, see how it does?
Yeah.
Our chain's a little rusty and binding up, but
Other than that, like
the sprocket isn't chunking. Yeah, everything's nice and straight.
Straight.
Yep.
And
looking good.
Before we had a roller down there, we completely
Deleted that. We don't need it.
We deleted the need for it.
Yeah,
as well.
we got our chain tension right. So now we can zap it in real good, weld it all up, and start putting the swing arm back on and making sure the shock, we can get that centered up with the shock and all that.
I hope our brake rotor still fits.
It should. So we just got the rear end pretty much dialed on this thing.
It's fully welded.
Yup.
The swing arm is all set up again.
Yeah, we got the swing arm all reinforced and spaced out correctly, so it shouldn't move anymore.
Yeah, it turned out even better this time than last time.
Yeah, it did. So we got it all welded back in. All our bearing mounts and everything. Gotta clean up the welds with the wire wheel and everything, but that'll be for later. But this is what we're talking about with the swing arm here. So before, If we take the wheel off here, the sprocket didn't have anything keeping it centered in here. So it would walk, when the set screws in here came loose, it would walk around and it would rub on the side of the swing arm. As you can see here, it's actually got like a slight groove cut in it now. But what we did was we added washers in here. They're 1-inch washers, 3 of them, to keep it spaced off of the bearing. And we put a locking collar on this side, so no matter what, this thing can't move left or right anymore.
We'll have to see how the foot pegs are, but this wasn't even that bad of a repair.
Yeah, we gotta fix the foot pegs still. Those are terribly bent, but one step at a time. The rear end's coming together, which is more important because the foot pegs can easily just be cut off and welded back on if we need to. The rear end was a lot trickier to try to straighten out and make sure all the chains are gonna line back up again. But we can't wait to ride this thing again because it's been a while. We've only given it one full send.
And then it got parked.
Yeah, because it got totaled in the last 5 minutes of that send, which is, it irks us because we were so close to being back at the parking lot in one piece. And no. A trench comes along, absolutely smokes the whole bike. But it's getting super late now, so we're going to close up for the night. We're going to come back tomorrow and keep going on this rear end. And we're going to try to rebuild a rear shock. We've never done it before, so wish us luck. Hopefully we get it right because we only have one shot and we don't have any of the right tools. So we're going to see if we can do it. And if we can do it, anyone can do it because, let's face it, we're not that bright. It's a new day here at Mini Metal Fab, and today we're going to be working on rebuilding this rear shock for the big block mini bike, getting thicker oil in it, and then we're going to get it nitrogen filled again. Working on pulling the spring off.
Took all the preload off. Now we have to take off this top cap.
Yeah, we got to pull the spring out, and then we can pull the cap out and everything, and it'll all come apart, and then we can try working on disassembling the actual shock itself. We got our spring off, so now we're working on getting the shock body separated. There's a little circlip in there you got to get out. So we're going to work on getting that out so we can pull this whole thing up and out of here.
So we removed both circlips, and now it's ready to come apart, and the fluid is absolutely disgusting.
Look at that. Literally black.
Oh!
That is bad. This has probably never been apart.
No.
Oh, it smells terrible.
That oil's from the 90s.
You guys are lucky you don't have smell-o-vision.
Yeesh.
It's not great. Look at that. It's dark and like grimy in there. We need to clean this out.
The inner walls look pretty nice.
Yeah, they're
Nothing's
alright.
all scarred or anything.
Yeah. This is bad. This needs this rebuild. Me!
Oh no.
On my face. This stuff's nasty.
See why they call it the bladder.
Yeah. Wow, this one, it's pretty bad. Thankfully it's not popped, but it is kind of dry. It's still got some give to it, so I think it'll be okay. Definitely need to clean it up though. Now it's fully apart. Dirty in there. We need to clean the whole thing out really good. It's grimy. This thing's roached. Alright, so we're going to get this thing all put back together with the new seals and everything. And then we can start reinstalling this on the bike. We're reinstalling our spring here. Adding our preload back in. And then this thing should be good to go. Besides the nitrogen, like we said, we're going to take it to the shop to have them do it. We don't have a nitrogen tank or anything like that to be able to fill this thing. So we'll let the professionals do that. It's like $50. It's not too much money. So we'll just have them do that. But we can get this thing back in the bike and see how it feels now, before, because this will be a good comparison to before because we never had nitrogen in it to begin with. So this will be before and after with thicker fluid basically. And then once we add nitrogen, it should be even stiffer and even more responsive and it'll be dialed. So we are wrapping this up and then we'll throw it on the bike. We got the shock in and it is looking good. Fully rebuilt, looking brand new. She's got some pushback to her now. Yup. Once we fill it with nitrogen, and we can set the preload some more if we need to, and adjust our dampening and rebound, it'll get dialed, yeah. We got the rear end all assembled again, and it rolls nicely.
All our chains are good, but it does have some more work ahead of it.
Yeah, it does. We couldn't get it exactly in the same spot it was before. So because of that, we caused a few more problems for ourselves, like usual. Just kind of adding to the pile of issues, you know?
Yeah, it's not, you know. The wheel, it's slightly crooked, but it is centered. Both our chains track fine.
Yep.
We had to flip the inner bearing because when we first put the wheel on, it touched here.
Yeah, it's hitting the swing arm. We didn't install it right.
We have to rework our brake.
Yeah.
Because it won't mount to the original tabs.
Mounts now. Yeah, the new bearings tabs we welded in, we actually made them a little farther in the frame than they were before. So because of that, now our brake won't fit in that gap there at all. So we're going to have to cut the old mounts off and make entirely new mounts and weld those to the frame.
All because a half link fell off.
Yeah. So that sucks, but one more thing we have to do to the rear end, but at least the chains are on and it rolls beautifully. No chunking.
But
Everything spins freely.
I think we should see how
The suspension feels? Yes. Yes, it's time.
It was absolutely trampolining, and it kind of sagged before you put any of your body weight on it. But now, it's still kind of soft. It definitely needs the nitrogen.
Yeah, it does.
But, I don't know, it kind of returns better.
It actually has dampening now.
And we don't have nearly as much preload as we did on before.
No, yeah, we still got to add more preload, and then we got to add the nitrogen and set our rebound and compression, and that should really dial it in.
Sounds different.
That's because it actually has squish now, and that's actually dampening now. Didn't have that before.
No.
It was all spring before, now it actually has some give.
A little bit of sag, but
Yeah, we can add more preload to it.
I think we should.
Yeah.
So it's just about ready to put the brake rotor and sprocket back on, and now we can fit up our new caliper and make mounts for it.
So we just got the rear brake on this thing dialed. It is absolutely mint. It should work so good now. We relocated it and made new brackets. Yep, and it fits good.
These ones might even be stronger. Like,
Yep.
it's solid.
So this is what we did here. We flipped it because the bearing mount up in here was in the way of the master cylinder, like piston area here on the caliper. So we flipped it around, so I have the skinnier sides over there, and it clears, so we can get it all the way onto our brake rotor. And then we made some new tabs to go from the bottom of the frame up here, and the top of the frame down there. And it works great. So now when you roll it, it stops the jack shaft super nice. Locks it up, no problem.
And that's with air in the system.
Yeah. Well, we're going to call it a night. It's past 10 o'clock now, and we got work tomorrow. Our work starts early, so we need to get the hay. So we'll see you guys tomorrow when we keep working on this thing. So we're back working on the big block again tonight. It's absolutely freezing in here. It's like 10 degrees out in PA. And we have a few things we're going to do, and then we're going to call it a night. I'm going to work on the taillight and the seat, while Russell is going to work on the turn converter pulley.
Gotta clean it all up. It's
Yeah.
way too dirty.
Yeah, it gets jammed up and locked up. So sometimes it won't let you disengage, and then when you're driving, you can't come to a stop without stalling the engine.
And that's because the torque converter cover, it didn't really cover the belt any. It just kind of saved your leg from getting
Yes.
out.
It didn't protect and keep the dirt out, which is what we need to do more. So we're going to have to modify that.
It only protects the rider.
Yes. So he's got one main bolt here, a 14 mil, to impact out, and then this can come apart. He's got to crack this huge nut loose so you can disassemble this thing and clean out all the internals, and then probably take some steel wool to this to clean up the surfaces for the pulleys. We'll have to clean up the rear one as well before we put our belt on. While he's doing that, I'm going to work on removing this old wiring and then wiring up the new wiring for the new tail light. It shouldn't be too hard. It's only 3 wires. And then the mounts are all going to work the same still, so we can just reuse all those, which will be perfect. We ordered the exact same light we had before because we like it a lot, and it works nice with this thing, and it looks super cool. This time it shouldn't get shattered because we have a bump stop.
And the shocks we angled.
Yes, it shouldn't be so much travel, and we got to add the nitrogen still to make it stiffer, and it'll be perfect.
So it is 3 wires, but
those are for turn signals, some of them wires, so I cut them off.
we deleted the orange and yellow ones last time. We just
kept
the red, green, and black.
Yep. So we're going to do the same. I got the taillight all back together. It looks so good. Check this out. Look at that. Turns on with our low beam, or our running light, I mean. The headlight turns on with it. It looks incredible. We got the seat back on as well. Look at that. I also stiffened up the preload on the rear shock. So now we just got to get it filled, and then we can adjust our dampening and rebound and compression with our adjusters, and this thing will be perfect. It's already way better than it was just with the rebuild. It actually has rebound now because it did not before at all. It was all just spring. So this is so much better. And then with the carb tucked in, it looks sweet. This thing's going to be perfect. Russell's working on the rear pulley, cleaning it out.
Rear pulley's all mint. Kind of got sidetracked tuning up my camera. But this is all good. Got to do the front next.
Yeah, we got to disassemble the front. The rear didn't need it because it's already open, so you can just clean everything out real easily. But the front, you have to actually disassemble it to be able to clean the internals. We got it cracked loose. We got it apart. As you can see here, there's some serious wear marks from the rollers here, which is not ideal. So we're going to put the tiniest bit of grease on all of these when we put it back together, just to try to help it slide, not wear out so quickly. You don't want to do too much because you don't want this getting on your belt at all because it will make your belt slip. But I think it just needs a little something in there to help it slide so it's not so much friction, because that's partly why I was getting locked up. Got it all cleaned out, back together, no more corrosion or rust. Ready to go back on the bike after we tighten our top nut down. So we're going to throw it back in the vise, torque it down good, bend up our locking tab, and throw it back on the bike with a belt. It's just me working on the big block tonight. Russell had an emergency he's got to take care of. So I am going to be working on the reinforcing the foot pegs and then getting the cover back on for the torque converter. So that way it'll be ready to go. I got the bike reinforced on the foot pegs and the cover's back on for the torque converter. We still have to extend the cover to keep dirt out, but it's on so our legs will be protected when we give it a test ride. So these are the little brackets I made to reinforce the foot pegs. And then here is our torque converter cover on. We need to enclose the front side more because the tires shoot so much dust into here. It was getting this jammed up. So we got to protect this drive pulley. So we're going to have to make some plating to come off the side and then down around the front, maybe a little under the bottom there, and then it'll be perfect. But it's coming together. It looks really good. The lights look so good. I'm excited to try this thing out. I've barely ridden it. Russell rode it a bunch and then it got smoked, so and I wasn't able to really try it. Well, the bike is all back together. I'm gonna have to wait for Russell to get here before we rip this thing, so the test ride will have to wait till next video, but it's ready to go. So as soon as he shows up, we can do that, and next episode, you'll see us sending this thing, and it should be good. It should rip now, and no more chain chunking, and the suspension should be better. And this week, we're going to get the nitrogen shock refilled, so the suspension should be perfect after that. And, yeah, we can have a blast on it, and hopefully it'll never be totaled like this ever again. So we hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, everyone, and God bless.